Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our brand new episode of Simply Bedrock, a Let's Play series. On our last episode, we haven't built too much, but we went on an exploration down to the south, not on Australia, but on a jungle biome where we took home some bamboo and we found a jungle temple in which it shelters our nether portal, our first gateway outside of the royal capital city. And I also linked it up on the nether side in which I did some nether hubway that I will show you in a second. But let me show you or tell you what I've been doing in between episodes. I did two things. One of them is bombarding the nether and grabbing more stuff, more ancient debris. We now have 16 of them that we can smelt it right now. And it will turn into a nether scrap. And if we combine 4 of it with 4 gold ingots, we can craft ourselves our very first netherite ingot. Oh, the gold was over here as well. This is a nether scrap. This is the outcome if you smelt down an ancient debris. We need 4 of these to combine with 4 golds, and it will give us 1 netherite ingot, in which we can use to upgrade a single armor or a single tool. So, the 16 ancient debris that we had is only good for 1 upgrade tool. But speaking of upgrade, before we upgrade things, we need the netherite upgrade trim. This is the netherite ingots or ingot, however you pronounce it. We can use this to upgrade our tools or armors, but we need our netherite upgrade trim that can be only found in bastions. As of now, I will keep this in here, and without further ado, we are going to the nether. But I'll make some preparations. If you notice on my hotbar, I have this bucket of lava because I learned from Pixel Rips, one of the Java content creator, that we can kill the brute piglins using a bucket of lava, because it will count as a nature kill, not a player kill. Because for some of you who doesn't know, if you kill a brute piglin or other piglins, it will aggro the nearby piglins in the vicinity, in which will cause a stampede against you. And if you notice, we have this third building that I will discuss with you later. And without further ado, we will go on the nether. And if you notice our pathway, I did some terraforming in here and designs. And this is our second cat that the villager breeder gave us. I'm so excited to go to the nether to show you guys what I've been doing. So, here guys, as you can see, I decided to relocate our nether portal here down to the south. I mean down to the Y level 11. And this is the nether hubway that I mentioned you earlier that I did. I placed some packed ice with buttons on it to prevent too much mob spawning. And I dug over there and bombarded some for our netherite or ancient debris. I know for sure you already know where this ladder is heading to our first location of the nether portal in here. So let me just put this clock here and grab our adventure kit there and some torches as well. Honestly, I use an external something, what you call it? I use chunk base on finding the bastion because I have a difficult time navigating here in the nether compared to the overworld. And luckily, it's just north ahead of us. If you remember 2 episodes ago, I dug this tunnel and luckily it continued to the northwest, I guess. Yes, northwest. Northwest from here is a bastion and there's another bastion on the northeast which is farther enough from here. We are under a warp biome, and if we turn right and turn left and right again, we will be in a crimson biome. I will time skip this for you guys. Like Joe Hill says, time skip! And here we are, guys. If you see this block, this is the foundation of the bastion. And if you can hear it over here, I mark it with a torch. Behind this is a lava source in which I almost died because I forgot that bastion has this kind of lava fountain that you see are cold. And I will try to record most of it from here. So wish me luck, guys. I hope I don't die and I hope we have some good loot in here. I'll see you in another clip. I will record this without my voice speaking. Thank you. So, hello guys, we did it. We successfully looted the bastion and have ourselves a netherite upgrade trim here. Now, all we need to do is make more copies of it because one template is consumable for one use. And let me try to show you how to duplicate trims. Now, we are going to try to duplicate the trims and I will show you how to do it based on my understanding. For this netherite upgrade trim, we need this netherrack. Oh, by the way, different trims have different recipes, such as for this wild armor trim, all we need is a mossy stone bricks. But first, let me show you how to do the netherite upgrade trim because this will be our main priority. This is another way to consume your diamonds except from doing the armors and the tools. And if you are in an SMP, the other usage of diamonds is as a currency. So, if you see this, if I click this, it will duplicate the netherite armor trim on the top, and if we repeat this one more time, we are going to have another 2. And 4 armor trims for the armor, and let's do another one, or let's say 2. And I'm going to reserve this set of diamonds for the wild armor trim to show you how to duplicate this. Oh, my bad. Wait, so guys, it was mossy cobblestone, not mossy stone bricks. I'm sorry. And every trim duplication costs 7 diamonds. And if you'll see here, again, it is mossy cobblestone, not mossy stone bricks. And we have a grand total of 6 netherite and 1 armor trim. I mean 1 wild armor trim. And we don't have any ender chest yet, so I will keep a copy of it in here. I would like to have some trim on my armor, but I can only put 2. So I think I will choose very eagerly. And as a tutorial, I will show you again how to craft a netherite ingot or ingot, or how do you pronounce it, depends on your dialect. Again, we need 4 netherite scrap and 4 gold, in which we can have this netherite ingots. Oh, by the way, aside from these gold ingots, these were our loots. Additional diamond helmet, diamond chestplate, diamond shovel, diamond sword, and these 19 blocks of gold. I looted the treasure room as you saw earlier. And this gilded blackstone. I love this gilded blackstone because you can do this for decorations. Most especially if you combine it with deep slate and black stones. So guys, there you have it. I will go to our trading hall in a bit to use one of the smithing table, and I will upgrade our armor on record on camera. So I'll see you in a minute or 2, guys. So hey guys, I'm back again, and this is the block that we need to upgrade our armors and tools into a netherite. This is the, what do you call this? The smithing table, I guess. And in here we need to be naked for a while. We need to remove all our gears in order to upgrade them. And to show you how to upgrade them, oh, and by the way, I have decided what armor and what color theme I will use. And if you will see, it is this iron ingots. And I will explain to you later. So, over here, we need the template and the armor or the tools and the netherite ingot. That will give us a netherite helmet. And we have to repeat this 3 more times. And for the trim, I decided to trim our chest plate. Because once we have the elytra, we will use this very rarely or seldomly because we're going on flying. So I will use this and enjoy the time I have for this. And for the leggings, I guess there. So let's take a look, guys. We have an achievement there. Why do I use iron ingots? Because if you remember, the color of our royal capital city is black and silver. The polished andesite and the polished deep slate bricks. And that is to represent our capital city. For I will be the king of this empire or the emperor of this empire. Take a look at those roofs. If you notice the color black and almost grayish or silverish, and if you compare it to my netherite armor, which has almost the same color of black and grayish silver. And shout out to my 2 nephews who happens to be, their name is Eisen Gray and Dominic Silver. Hello guys! So guys, we did some adventuring, and for the rest of our episodes, I will gather redstone contraptions and building materials for our build project for today or for this week. What it is, I will let you know in a few moments. But if you can guess while I'm gathering materials, then write it down in the comments below. So guys, I will see you on another clip and I will gather the materials that I need. See ya! Hey guys, before I totally forgot, this is the thing that I've been doing in between episodes. The third building in our central plaza, Eastern Plaza to be exact. This, if you can hear, is our automated wool farm with all of the 16 colors. The reason for this to be built is, of course, one of them is bombarding the nether on the Y level 11 for additional ancient debris because I don't have a creeper farm and I ran out of TNTs. The second is for, of course, building stuffs and pallets. Most especially, where is that? This gray one. Because most of our builds in this royal capital city is composed of gray colored blocks, and from watching different content creators, they use light gray wool to be exact, as a palette in combination of the stone bricks, cobblestones, and other gray stuffs such as the concrete. And over here in the small building, I made a micro farm the total flower farm that if you click this lever, it will automatically bone meal the flower, and it is planted in a mud block in which a hopper can absorb from it, because it may look like a solid block, but it is a little pixel lower than the ordinary blocks. And these are the flowers that I've been bone milling, and I need sunflower. And as for this will be the small one block flower. It is manual, semi-automatic or semi-manual. If I click the button, it will bone meal the flower beneath, and it will spread above here. And for this is a lichen farm. Don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone. Like and subscribe. I missed that line here. And if I share it, the hopper will absorb it and it will be collected down here in the chest. So I discussed it. There's nothing above on the attic. I like the others, it is empty. For now it is empty, but for sure the later part of the game or our adventure in this world, it will be filled with different micro farms such as the glowberry farms and others. So I will continue our montage of gathering resources and might go straight on building. So good night, guys. So, hey guys, I'm done with my build, and for sure, based on the earlier clip, I know that you already had an idea of what I did as my build for today, and let me show you and tour you around. And let me show you our updated map of the city. Here on our episode 5, we already have this progress in our map, and this is the only quadrant that is missing, and that thing will be on progress for the next episode. And based on this map, for sure you already saw it, you already had an idea, and let's get into it. And if you notice, we're on day 999. Once I sleep, we will reach our first 1000 days in this world. Here, as you can see, this is the Wood Manor. It is a combination of our automated wood storage and semi-manual tree farm. Upon your entrance, you will be greeted with this long hallway, and above it are item frames that indicates what type of item that they hold. For example, this is the oak logs. And over here, we don't have much yet because I've been using most of them in crafting hoppers, chests, and other things that needed wood, such as the item frames. We already had in this present recording 12 types of woods, and the latest of it was the bamboo. We also have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12, 13 kinds of leaf blocks that I mostly use in decorating. And I included the mangrove roots because I watched some videos, especially from the content creators, that this mangrove roots has a good quality for building buildings. And I also included some drops from the trees like the stick. This I forgot what it's called. Shroomlight, the twisted vines, and these grasses, and this is for the random saplings. And I have this a light indicator of my outputs, which means everything in this chest it's either uh, pass by to the other hoppers, because in Bedrock Edition, hoppers are less slower to absorb items compared to the Java. And it means some items that's not filtered, such as the saplings. Yeah, I was still decorating the upper floor for my office. And if you want to see the noodles, the redstone wirings over here, I'll give you a tour. These chests are just my random redstone stuffs. I don't have a shulker box yet, so I put them in a chest. And these are the noodles. These are the hoppers that goes to the chest, and over here are the item filters. If you want some tutorials about this, there are many content creators that can explain to you properly on how to do this, such as Slack Lizard, JC Plays, Silent Whisperer for the Bedrock, and others such as Swift, and I don't know the other tutorials on Java. I mostly watch Bedrock. So these are the item filters, and every item filters consists of 4 item filters, such as this renamed dirt. And again, as you read, don't forget to subscribe, everyone. And also don't forget to like my videos. There, these are the noodles, sorry. These are the noodles for the item filter. And let me show you the other one. I have here some extra space that I turned into walkable office thing. And over here is our simple bedroom. There's no much designs, interiors, and let's sleep tonight and wake up for our days played day 1000. Honestly speaking, this is my first time reaching 1000 days in a single player world, and I am so happy to celebrate with you guys. And this is one of the 2 farms, the bamboo farm. For tutorials, I'm not good at explaining things, as you noticed in my speaking, but I just used the simple bamboo farm that most content creators do and made. It is a combination of observer and piston with one with single redstone dust behind. I included some glowstone for the lightings. And this is the manual tree farm for the Swarp, Crimson, and the Overworld trees. For a better view, I made this little, what do you call, some call it terrace, but I call it a rooftop, rooftop deck. Here, that's our wizarding tower. And here is a proper view of our manual tree farm. This is the azalea, or some pronounce it as azalea, some says azalea, whatever you call it, depends on your diction, I guess. But as others says, it is azalea. Azalea. In this spot, I can plant mostly everything except everything, every saplings in the overworld, except to the bamboo for the reason that I don't need to harvest them because we have an automatic way of harvesting them. I am not sure if I can do the automatic tree farms like the others did because I don't have enough resources for the redstone such as the honey blocks and the slime blocks. So I resulted into this manual tree farm. And the overall inspiration for this build I will link in my description because I forgot the content creator. I followed his ideas of the storage, but this one is mostly for the bedrock players because if I use TNT, according to my friends in an SMP, the drop rates from blasting at an item is very low compared to the Java. So there you have it, guys. This is our manor. The three storage farm manor. For this manual farm, every time I chop a wood or trim these leaf blocks, it will be dropped to the water and the water will flush it downwards to that stream, to that canal, and from that canal, it will be distributed down to our automatic sorting storage system. And these are the noodles for the item distributor. Mostly based on observer because I don't have a soul sand just yet. And I just resulted using a couple of observers with redstone dust on it. And over here, guys, I have a little botanical clinic where I collected most of the saplings including the bamboo, and over here are the nether saplings or fungus. So I for the oak I use the oak trapdoors for the description and for me to remember how does one trapdoor looks. Cherry trapdoor for the cherry and so on so forth. My kinda favorite as of now is this pale oak trapdoor because it is near on my color palette which is this grayish tone. And I made this one as my little office in which in here I will make a book and record the different saplings that I'm gonna use in different biomes such as, for example, in a savanna I will build a Chinese themed village, mostly acacia and some secondary woods such as the mangrove and the crimson wood. So there you have it, guys. This is our wood Rockwood Storage Manor. In total, I spent more than 100 days, I think over 120 days building this manor, and the reason for that is I had trouble using the water stream because I needed a honey block which I don't have yet. I tried using the mud, but it also fails, as well as the glass panes that I tried when I watched one of Silent Whisperer's storage stream. So I revert back to the hopper line thing, which is more efficient for me as of now. And welcome to our 1000 days, guys. Thank you, and it is such an honor to have with you to celebrate with me on my first 100 days. I mean, first 1000 days 1000 days survival world. This is not yet the end because we have so plenty of things to do. We haven't been to the fortress. We haven't been to the end. We haven't been to the end dimension. We haven't been we haven't been beaten the dragon, same as the warden, the elder guardian, and the most notorious killer of all, the wither. The wither boss, I mean. So guys, thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you soon on my next episode. Goodbye guys. Love lots. Take care. Mwah mwah mwah.